Jumping right into it.
Yeah, well, what did you want me to do?
You can do the podcast intro.
The Flop Sweat Podcast.
Thank you guys for tuning in.
Yeah.
My name is Keegan Manning,
I'm Devin Gatto.
and this is the Flop Sweat Podcast.
First episode. First, I guess, official.
First official episode. We
Yeah.
tried to do. We had an unsuccessful first attempt.
Right.
We'll show a clip from it, but we wanted to do our first podcast right after I got my wisdom teeth out.
Can we just pull your wisdom teeth?
Each one another one's out.
Each week, tooth gone.
But
Just for 32 weeks.
then that's how you blow up right there.
And then we get you dentures at the end.
But
But John Wayne Gacy.
I got my wisdom teeth out a week ago today.
Right.
And-
Yeah, today.
Yeah, we should celebrate.
Yeah, oh my god, dude.
But
What are you doing after this? Want to pull more teeth?
getting more out. It's so fun.
I'm going back for seconds.
I got all 4 removed, I think.
Dude, not a big deal.
It happens to everybody.
So many people I feel like I know are getting. This girl at my job just got her teeth removed.
All of them?
All of them. My uncle, he's getting all his fucking teeth removed because he has gingivitis. Gingivitis?
It's-
Ginger-
No, it's gingivitis.
no, it's gingivitis. Yeah.
Um,
So he's getting teeth reconstruction surgery.
oof.
And
The
he's
thing is we thought I was gonna totally be, because when you're loopy, you're like funny and you're not completely.
right. We thought he
aware.
would be unhinged. We thought it was gonna be like
I'd be saying funny things and
Right.
giggly. I was really like I was not.
he was bleeding.
I was
on
not
his
on this
pants,
point. Yeah, I was drenched in
drooling.
blood. There's a blood stain like right on my dick, and I went over to to Lucas right here to like check something with the mics. I was like, oh, do we? And just blood just dripped out of my mouth. And Lucas was like, oh, and then I didn't register it at all. And the thing is, I really wasn't okay because I was fresh out of anesthesia. And I was
Anastasia.
in the.
Fresh out of the Broadway show,
I
Anastasia.
was fresh out of Anastasia on Broadway. No, they gave me the thing. I
Right.
thought it was like a shot in my tooth. And they gave me a shot in my arm. So I was waiting there. And then
Oh yeah,
my
yeah.
memory cut out, and I thought I would wake up in the chair, however long later, and I woke up in my bed at
Days
home,
later.
and I was like, "Is it done?" And my family was there next to me in the bed. They're like, "It's done.
You look at your arm and it's gone.
You have no teeth." But I couldn't do it,
Couldn't bring myself.
and
to
we
do
had
it.
mic issues. Devin was
Yeah,
trying
I was playing with the
double
cord.
Dutch. Yeah,
Devin playing with the neighborhood kids, double Dutch. But
what you want? Some of my Coke?
would you want to sip on my Coke? It's fine, just ask me. But yeah, now we're actually here. This is official. We're doing it.
I'm not loopy anymore.
And I'm not playing any more games. I'm serious today. So yeah. But I'm excited. This is
For
kind
what?
of what for who? For what? So let us know what you guys think. Obviously, we love feedback. We want to know what our fans think because that's what we're doing this for. It's all for the fans.
And I wouldn't even go ahead and call them fans yet because we don't even know. We don't know if they support. They might be listening to us,
I know they have support.
but we don't know if you guys back us yet or anything. So,
Not after what we're about to say. Not after about who I'm gonna endorse.
but yeah. So we'll. This is a strictly political podcast,
Yeah,
so we're not going to make any
strictly
jokes.
Political. This is no jokes.
No hee-hees, no ha-has.
We're getting straight to the nitty-gritty facts, okay? And we don't want to play any more games because we're sick of the politicians playing games. We're sick of the congressman playing games. We're sick of Donnie playing games
Donnie
on the
T
hill.
telling lies.
Donnie acting like the ant bully on top of the hill and just burning everyone with his magnifying glass. We're sick of it.
Donnie T talking trash on Joey B.
On JB, Don T. It's getting ridiculous. So we just want to sift through the madness of the political forefront.
And the
Like-
charts, they're going up.
And the numbers, they're ticking up. Okay,
Ugh.
they're reading high.
Who knows what's going to happen in November?
Who knows who's going to be alive?
Anarchy or peace?
Anaki, peace. It's up in the air.
No, it's
Dude.
gonna be chaotic.
Last midterm, the last midterm election, which was 2018, more young voters came out than any other midterm ever. So, if that's what happened last midterm, I'm hoping, especially that was like in the infancy of Trump's presidency. That was only 2 years in.
It's funny because we made a joke about how we're a political podcast,
Right.
and now we're actually talking politics.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't want to talk politics, but we did.
But we did. You got to. With your racist parents, you have to.
No, politics is funny though. The amount of people who come in. I work at Firebirds. Go Firebirds!
Nobody knows where that is.
Guys, Firebird Short Pump. We have multiple locations. One in Manchester, one on Huguenot, one in Short Pump. I'm also plugging.
out
I'm
job that you don't
plugging.
like.
Yeah, I'm plugging for my job as well.
Come see me miserable at work.
See, you can say that, but I can't. If Richard Calamaris saw this video and he saw me shit talking,
that's
my
manager's
manager,
name.
Richard J. Calamaris, and he's this
Sounds
short.
like a rich investor.
He literally the first day he like pulled everyone like who's in training. He's like, I want you guys to know. He's like, I'm a businessman, and he's like, I'm gonna run this place like a business. He's like, at 21, I owned my first business, and I was making millions. He's like, by 23, I sold that business for 4.3 million. And I was like, so what are you doing here?
Pinstripe suits
Yeah.
only.
He loves peach colors. Like all of his shirts are always like a beautiful tangerine or a lovely Georgia peach color. He looks like and he's bald
Nice.
too.
Calm magenta.
Yeah, just a sweet, warm lavender.
Hmm.
Really fill the room with all of his embrace. But
But he's got the fiery passion of an Italian head chef.
got the fiery passion of a Italian brickmaker. No, but he I can't talk about because he thinks he's the shit though. It's kind of funny because he'll go to tables and like
Sounds
people.
like he is the shit.
He is the shit.
Dick Calamaris.
Big Dick J Calamaris.
You're big dick.
Oh, you're Big Dick J. What are you doing at Firebirds? No, but he's a great guy. He's funny.
Well, we know we wanted to tell a lot of jokes on this podcast, and I wanted to tell a lot of funny stories because you know most of my funny stories because I've.
Right.
I mean, all my
But you
friends
guys
can
don't.
attest. I tell every story maybe
Wicked
3 times.
hilariously stories.
Hilarious.
Hilarious.
But I really want the listeners to know if you're comfortable sharing the story of you stealing a car.
Oh, yeah. That was my I tell that story a lot. That's like kind of my icebreaker story. Just because like when people
That's
look
great.
at
These
me,
are icebreakers.
Yeah,
This
this
is
is
what we
first episode. Because when people initially look at me, they're not thinking Grand Theft Auto.
They're
So,
thinking
They're thinking
embezzlement, fraud.
They're thinking slick theft. They're thinking espionage. No, but but also like it was the people I was with, and it's kind of that's kind of the moral of the story. It's just like know who your fucking friends are. But I was just like with. They weren't like an awful group of friends. Like they're really great to me, And so it's so hard when like a group of people they treat you so nice and they're just inviting.
But
and,
they
like,
were up to no good.
only one of them was, and
Oh.
it like dragged all of us in. His name was Connor, but he literally looked like an ex-convict, and he had a full-on beard in 8th grade, and he was
Everybody knows the full bearded
yeah,
kid.
but he was like straight blonde, like albino. So he had like he had a
Ew.
fro, and it was like a blonde fro, and he had a blonde beard.
In 8th
um,
grade,
8th grade, dude, it was the craziest thing, and I remember meeting this guy.
no
and
eyebrows.
no, no arms.
Sounds like a Bond villain.
Yeah, fucking Javier Bardem.
But okay, anyways.
So, and I just left Holman. I was at Holman for 2 years. We're in Glen Allen, Virginia. So some of you listeners, you may know what I'm talking about. You probably don't. But Holman Middle School, a lot of white people, a lot of Vineyard Vine, Simply Southern, a lot of Indian kids
Yeah,
too,
yeah,
mathletes. But Midlow completely different story. There was kids like fucking in the bathrooms. It was drugs everywhere. It was like the most, I think, school experience ever. Like the most like you know when you watch movies like super bad, it's like that was the most school experience, like TV
Yeah.
media experience I had. And so there was this thing going around 8th grade year. Everyone was stealing cars. So what you would do was all your friends, you'd find a car, steal it. You'd go to a big party. You like do whatever the fuck you want
We're
in
gonna
the
steal a
car.
car again this weekend? Okay, great.
Well, what are we doing?
Crimes.
Crabs. And so we would steal cars, and people would like do whatever. Like you would like people would literally take shit and like people like literally shit in their cars, and then they would drop them off and like leave them in ditches, and like or they would fuck in there. or they
People would
drink.
shit and people would. Wait,
Connor like
that's
took a video.
whole other thing to
Yeah.
unpack. People would break into people's
Cars,
cars.
drive around, go to parties, get fucked up in them, and then like Connor, he took a video. He was like, "Check this out," and he like fucking dropped a deuce, and this person's like GMC Yukon, and just like he was like, "Yeah," he's like, in their backs,
Oh my god.
just like
that's
people, and it was, but you know, 8th grade me, I'm like, this is awesome, you know, I've never experienced this kind of like level of just like do whatever the fuck I want, and it was so unhinged. It was so I felt like a beast. I felt like a beast on the wild, you know.
But tell us about the
And so
leading up to.
right. So it was so Connor, we started this group chat, and I was the one who started it. I was like, for some reason, I was the most pumped up about it. Like, and my brother Anthony, he's like a fucking like he's like a low time criminal, and he wasn't even excited about it. He was like, "Yeah, all right, fine, I'll go." Like,
Loving him to death though, sweet guy. We love
yeah,
Anthony.
love Anthony,
But-
he's the best. But and so we started group chat. This is like we maybe have like 2 more weeks left of 8th grade. Like this summer is right around the corner. And I remember it was a Sunday, 2 in the morning. 2 in the morning. Or that's when no, we took the car at like 12 a.m. and the escapade ended at 2. But at the time it was me, Anthony, these 2 twins, Cameron and Colin, then Connor, and then Olivia, Lauren, and Hannah.
So all of the whitest names ever.
Yeah. It was all white people. All white people stealing. And
Tanner was there.
Tanner, Bailey, like Katie. Dude, Katie's such a Katie.
All of those names.
Yeah. Brett. I love that name. Cousin Brett.
Just kill the story right
I
there.
know. That's it. So we started the group chat, and all that happened, and then we're like, all right, so Anthony, so we decided, so the reason why I started the group chat was because that day I was walking around my neighborhood and I found keys just, I used to live in an apartment complex, and there was keys like in the fucking parking lot to a Jeep. And I was like, oh my God. So I picked up the keys and like I pressed the alarm and I found the car it went to. And like I went in the car, I turned it on. I didn't take it because I was so like, you know, still, you know, 8th grade, I was scared, you know, if I took it, I'm gonna get arrested. And so I left it, and I told Anthony, I was like, dude, guess what? Like, I found a car or whatever. He's like, don't fucking take it, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, oh, well, I told Connor we could take it, and Connor was like, yeah, we should. And so that is kind of already how we got roped into it. Like, after telling Connor, there's no backing out. Like, once Connor knows, he's not gonna be like, well, you can go home.
Yeah.
And he's gonna be like, no, fucking come on, take the car. So instead of taking that Jeep, because I was really worried, I didn't want to damage someone else's car, which is stupid. I took my mom's car. Anthony and I took our mom's car. 2008 white Subaru Legacy, fucking beauty.
So is it still considered Grand Theft Auto if you just steal your mom's
Right.
car?
So no, it wasn't. I'll explain that in the court hearings.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll get to that later. But so Anthony and I, we sneak out the back door. We text everyone in the group chat like, "Hey, get ready, we're going." We found a party. It was a big pool party. We were gonna go to that. Connor got a ton of drinks. We were getting in the car. We were going, and so, in me, I'm thinking, oh, this is the night of my fucking life.
Right.
I'm like, this is it. Like, this is
Yeah.
the pinnacle.
Yeah.
Like, I've reached it. I've reached stardom. This is it. because nobody at fucking Holman did this shit. Nobody was like, "Hey, let's go to a party."
Yeah.
I was
You're
like,
like, this is my villain origin story.
Yeah, I was like, I'm Joker now. But I was like, I'm finally getting to go to like a party, you know?
Yeah.
I was so excited. So Anthony and I, we get in the car, we put it in neutral. I get in the driver's seat, and like I fuck up reversing out of the driveway. Like I go over the curb, and like the car's like
Because it's a neutral.
yeah. Well, neutral. No. That's how it's like when you put the car in neutral, it just means the gears are unlocked. So like you have the transmission and the gear that goes on it. It just means the transmission is open. So like you're not in forward or reverse, you're just in neutral. So the car could roll forward or backward. But we didn't want to start the car, you know, because it makes noise. I didn't want to wake up my mom. So
Devin
we put
doesn't have his license, by the way.
yeah, I still don't.
To everybody listening
Um,
to him talk all this smack about
all
him
this-
knowing cars.
yeah,
not
but you didn't
licensed.
you didn't even know what neutral was.
I
So-
know it. I know it means N. I don't use it.
Okay, yeah, but just in case you do, what if you break down and you have to push your car? Put it in neutral. You're not gonna put it in drive. It's gonna make it a lot
Right.
harder. But you would have been fucked if you didn't know that.
Thank God I
Shouldn't have told you.
I have
'Cause-
such a
Yeah,
car enthusiast.
you don't even care. You're just making fun of me.
Put it in neutral.
Anyway, put it in neutral. Got out of the driveway. Anthony was getting mad at me, so he took the wheel. He's like, "You don't know what you're fucking doing," and I was like, "Yeah, I probably don't." So he hops in the driver's seat, all fired up. We go pick up Cameron and Colin first, and Cameron and Colin like they were such weird like no they were cool, but like they were just so like, oh, we know everything. Like, yeah, I knew that. Like, oh yeah, I can do that. Like Cameron, he was like talking all he's like, yeah, I went 100 last time I stole a car on the freeway. And we're like, dude, like sick. I was like, but I'm not trying to get pulled by state police, like going 100 on fucking I-95. And so he's like, no, let me drive, dude. He's like, I know how to do it. And I was like, a lot of people do. I was like, almost 1 billion people have cars.
Yeah.
And so we let him drive because he just wouldn't fucking shut up. And honestly, it worked out for the best. So he starts driving, and we go pick up everyone else. We go pick up the girls, pick up Connor, and now we're on the way to the party. And around this is like maybe 1:30 now, because we had to pick up like fucking 5 people. So, and not only that, but like my mom had work the next morning because it's Monday now.
Yeah.
Like it's Monday morning now.
Mhm.
So she has work. And I'm just like, whatever. I didn't give a fuck. Just being a selfish kid, being a selfish little prick. And then, so we're on the way to the party, and we're on Midlothian Turnpike. And so for those who live in Midlothian or Chesterfield, Midlothian Turnpike, that's like West Broad of Chesterfield.
Nobody knows any of the names or locations that you're saying.
Stop doing that. Stop like fucking tearing me down.
I want you to be clear,
I know,
but
but
I want you to.
It doesn't matter if they do or don't.
These are only Chesterfield listeners.
You know what? Then I'll be super unspecific so that way they don't
Great.
know on anything.
Yeah.
Okay, then what's a super famous street that a lot of people drive on?
Times Square.
Hey, are you driving down Times Square? Times Square. You didn't even get.
You don't have to go
road.
into. You just you can describe the road, but nobody.
Anyway,
knows
it's a
this
really
fucking
busy road.
road. Okay, that's great.
It's a very busy road that a lot of people drive. It's like the main road through the town.
Okay,
All right.
we're good. We're good.
I know, but that's the way I described it. Anyway. So we're driving on this road, and there's an off road to Midlothian Turnpike that goes through these neighborhoods, and it's a lot safer because like cops mainly are on the main roads at night. They're not in neighborhoods. And so I was like, just go turn down this fucking road. Like it's a lot safer. I don't want to be in Midlothian Turnpike. I don't want to be in the turnpike. And then, of course, fucking Cameron isn't listening to me. And Colin, his twin brother, is in the back. And he's like, I'm feeling really nauseous, guys. And we're like, God, fuck. What,
Not
Colin?
built for crime.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's like, I don't feel good. He's like, I had a margarita before I came. He's like, I had my mom's margarita. And I was like, and my nose is stuffed up. And he was like, my mom's margarita. I had a sangria. And I was like, dude.
So weird.
He's like, I had a sangria. My tummy doesn't feel good. And I was like, Jesus fucking Christ, Colin. And so he's like, no, seriously, like I'm gonna throw up. And I was like, nah, my mom's upholstery. And so, I tell Cameron, I'm like, dude, pull over. And so we pull over into this abandoned, like, it used to be a used car, like, parking lot.
Yeah.
And they sold cars there. And so I tell him to turn in there, but he turns way too early, and the front right tire hits the curb, and it pops.
God.
Like he literally, we're going like 45, and he like maybe slows down to like 20, and we full on hit this curb. I'm sitting in the front seat, and I'm unbuckled, and my head, like as when we hit the curb, my head hits the windshield and cracks it.
Boom. Jesus Christ.
So there was like a little crack in the windshield, and so we pull over, and Anthony and I are pissed. Anthony and I, we're like, what the fuck? We're like, why would you fucking, like, you crashed our car. Like, what the fuck, dude? We're like, we thought you were a good driver, blah, blah, blah. Like, we're just, like, literally bitching him out. And
You're
his,
13. I thought you were a good driver.
You said you could fucking drive, dude. You said you went 100. And he's like 14, and he's like, I'm sorry. And his brother, meanwhile, is like barfing his brains out in the fucking parking lot. He's like, bleh, and everyone's just like freaking out. They're like, oh my god, like the girls. And Connor's like, guys, he's like, it's fine. He's like, we're still gonna make it to the party. And I was like, I'm not even.
Tires just like.
Yeah, like there's literally like smoke is coming out of the engine.
Oh my god.
It turns out that like when we hit the curb, not only did he pop the tire, but he broke the front right axle. So like literally the whole like the alignment was fucked up. Now the tire's fucked up. You literally couldn't even drive. Like you could barely turn the wheel, just because like the front axle's broken. And so we're like, God damn! But I obviously didn't know that at the time. And so Anthony and I were just like, all right, let's just change the tire and let's put the donut on the spare tire. And so we take all the lug nuts off, and then we get to the last one. And
I don't even know how to do this shit now.
And it turns out we didn't have the right wrench socket piece for that lug nut, because my fucking mechanic, shout out Frank, love you Frank, you're the fucking best, but you got me caught, dude. Because all the lug nuts were the same except for one. And I was like, what happened?
2 million mechanics in America named Frank are like, me.
Frank Autos, it's on Staples Mill. Love you, brother. But anyway, so he like misplaced one of the lug nuts, and mechanics do this a lot. Like if you lose one, you just get another one if it's not the right size. Because it still works, you know. And so he was just like, oh, fuck it. So he just put a random lug nut on. And so Anthony and I, we didn't have the right tool. Like, we didn't have the right size wrench to take it off. And so we're like, fuck. So we literally did all that. We jacked up the car. We took all the lug nuts off. Like, we got everything ready just to find out, like, one doesn't fit. So we had to put everything back on, put all the lug nuts back on, undo the car, like, unjack it, lower it down, put everything back.
And this is how long after you've stolen the car?
This is maybe, like, hour 30.
Okay.
So,
hour 30?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. We so easily, we left at like 12, and it took maybe about like 45 minutes to pick everyone up. And then
You said hour 3?
maybe not hour 30. I don't really know. Time isn't like, does it matter if they know?
I
Like,
thought you said hour 30.
yeah, hour 30. I'm not sure. I didn't time it.
But yeah, it was a while.
It was at least an hour. And so also Midlothian Turnpike, like my house is not that far from from that street. So
Right.
like my house is maybe 5 minutes away from where we were. And so Anthony and I were just like, you know what, fuck it, like the car's damaged, like let's not drive on it anymore. Like let's just go home. And we told everyone like we're just gonna go back to my house. Like you guys have to like Uber home or find a way home. And
Connor's gonna get his stomach pumped because he's had way too much sangria.
He's like, I go to my tummy. He's like, my fucking.
I can't see straight.
He's like, I'm gonna throw up. It's like, and so Connor was pissed. He's like, I'm going to this fucking party.
Right.
He's like, there's no way I'm not going. He's like, there's gonna be babes there. He's like, there's gonna be fucking titties. And
12, 13 years old. He said there'd be bitches here.
you said there'd be pussy for me. You said I could get wet pussy, wet, tight, hot mom
You
pussy.
said there'd be WAP here.
So there'd be a lot of wop.
All right.
You said my dick was gonna be in WAP tonight.
What 11-year-olds are going out on the town stealing cars?
Hey, want this dick? I can drive. No, I gotta. um, so we, so Colin wants to drive back home. So we're like, all right, fine. And so we're going back down Midlothian Turnpike, like literally, there's smoke billowing out of the engine, like you
Yeah.
can barely see. We're going 55, which is like 5 over the speed limit, and I'm like, we're on a flat tire. I was like, you need to be going like minimum, like maximum maybe 20. Like you need to be going 15 miles an hour to drive 50 miles an hour on a flat tire.
Yeah.
You're gonna. That's so bad.
Any miles an hour, I
Yeah.
feel like you shouldn't be driving.
Yeah, you
on it.
shouldn't. Yeah.
Yeah.
You need a new tire. And so he was like just going way too fast, like swerving. He kept pumping the brakes because Anthony and I were like literally screaming at him, like, slow the fuck down. And you know Anthony. He was just like, dude, if you don't fucking put on the brakes, he's like, I'm gonna fuck you up. And so he's like, all right, man, all right. And so he kept like pumping the brakes, and Anthony's like, what are you doing? And he kept like jerking the car like this. And so, just like, it's awful. We're swerving, everyone's talking, everyone's freaking out in the car. There's 7 people and a 5-passenger sedan. So like it already is just bad. Everyone's like, the girls are freaking out. Connor's like telling him like, no, go to the party, and we're like, no, go back to my house. So he's like swerving back and forth in lanes, trying to figure out like where to go, what to do. And then lights come on, cop lights in the back,
Lights up.
and lights up, scene start. No, but literally lights. Like we're driving, and we are maybe less than a mile away from my house. So fucking close. And
Come on, we're gonna make it.
We're gonna fucking make it.
Don't
And
pull over.
literally, so the lights go on, and we're like, what do we do? Colin's like, what do we do? What do we do? And Connor immediately says, he's like, fucking run. He's like, outrun him. And I'm like, on a flat tire.
Scram!
Yeah, and he was like, we're gonna fucking book it. And he was like, pull into because there's like a food line, maybe like it was like right down the street.
Yeah.
And so it's like, all right, he's like, this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna speed off. And he's like, pull into the back of the food line, and then everyone get out of the car and run. And I was like, Connor, I was like, one, they're gonna find out who the fuck it is. And I was like, not only that, but like the car is in my mom's name.
This is finally the climax of the story.
Right. And so I was like, they're gonna find out whose car it is, and my mom, she's not gonna fucking defend me. She's gonna rat me out because I stole her car.
She's gonna lawyer up
rightfully so.
and sue her.
She's gonna press charges on
12-year-old son.
What if she did? What if
You'd be behind bars.
I would. But I was like, if they find out who the car is, I was like, I'm gonna rat you guys out. I was like, if I have jail time on me, I was like, I'm ratting you out.
I'm sorry, but I'm ratting.
I was like, Connor, I'm ratting you out. And I'm in middle school. I'm not trying to take the heat for 5 of my friends.
Yeah,
we'll
take a plea deal.
I will. I'll make deal with the dirty pigs. I'll shake hands. I'll shake hooves.
Right.
And so he was like, fuck you, man. He's like, you're a fucking pussy. And I was like, dude, I'm not a pussy. I don't want to spend, the rest of my fucking childhood in prison or juvie.
So boom.
So
boom.
Blue lights. Colin, the guy driving, speeds off. Like we're going 50. He's going now 70. Fucking takes off. The cop, then he immediately turns his siren on, and he like gets on the fucking megaphone. He's like, pull over. He's like,
Oh my.
pull over. And
Hey, can you guys please pull over?
look, guys, it's really late. I'm on the last hour of my shift. Just please pull over.
Your axle's out. I can see it.
Guys, your fucking axle's off.
You guys got the wrong lug nuts.
Guys, I'm trying to help you. Your car's broken. No, but so we're speeding. Everyone is like, the girls in the back are literally crying. They're like, oh my God, we're gonna go to jail. Like, we're going to jail. Like, freaking out. They're like, this is it. We're going to jail. And then we pull into the back of the food line. And at this point, I'm in the back seat, and this girl, Olivia, she's sitting on my lap. And she, like, opens the door. And as soon as we pull into Connor's like, everyone fucking out. And so like I literally just felt like it felt like a action. I felt like I was in Black Hawk Down. Like it felt like I was coming out of this chopper and I'm dropping down in Vietnam and everyone like go go and Connor's literally screaming, he's like everyone fucking book it. And so like right behind Food Line it's just woods and then there's
Yeah.
like apartment complexes. And so he opens the door, Olivia opens the door, and Lauren, the other girl who's
Yeah.
on the other side, she opens the door.
The
So-
ladies surprisingly quiet during the story. The whole car ride, they didn't
Oh,
say
no.
anything.
Well,
I would.
I don't really remember their commentary very
Right.
much. I mean, we were chit chatting.
Connor, please pull over.
Yeah. Connor, it's enough.
Connor, they're yelling at us.
Connor, they got us. Yeah, but
They book it.
so no, so the also like the cop is literally. It's not like we put a ton of distance between
Yeah.
us and the cop. Like the cop was on our tail the whole time.
Right.
Like it's not like we like we lost him. Like run. Like this is our chance. It was like no, the cop is right behind us. Like his lights are flashing
Right.
on us, and so as soon as we open the door, the cop's already out of his cruiser. Like he's standing there, he's like, "Shut the fucking door!" And so Lauren, she like puts her foot out, and like he's like, "Shut the fucking door, I'll shoot!" And like he had his taser out, he's like, "I'll fucking shoot!" And so we're like, "Oh my god!" Literally like freaking out. And so we all shut the doors, we lock the car, and the cop comes up, and he gets his his bright ass flashlight and just like aims it in all of our eyes, and we're just like, ah, like, and he's like, "What are you doing?"
This
You know?
one's clearly had way too much sangria. It's just like,
What were you on, sangria? This boy has too much sangria in him.
nobody ran.
No, because we didn't have time. Like literally, as soon as we opened the doors, the cop was like, "Get the fuck in the car!" And so we're like, "All right." So we shut all the doors, and he comes, starts interrogating us, and by this time, like 2 other cop cruisers have pulled up to the scene. So right now there are 3 cops at the scene for literally 5 middle school kids.
All units. All units.
Yeah. We're gonna ditch and run all units. Food Line.
We got a crime family. I just found it.
And so okay, so he like is shining the light in the car. We're freaking out. I like open the door because he's like, he's like asking us questions and shit. And so I'm like, how do I answer? The window's up, like I can barely hear him. And so I open the door. He's like, "Shut that fucking door!" And I was like, "Oh my god, like I'm sorry." He's like, "Crack the window." He's like, "Crack the window." He's like, "Just slightly." And I was like, I was like, "That's too much. Roll it back." No, that's not enough.
Whoa.
Whoa, max 3 inches. And so he was just being like, literally, all these cops were being such assholes just to like intimidate
That's
us.
so unlike them.
I know. And
I've never seen a cop do
they're
that.
so gentle. They're so docile.
The 2 whitest people in Virginia.
Yeah,
Yeah.
one white,
One white, one Cuban.
one super Hispanic.
I'm Cuban. Devin's white.
I'm Aryan. He's Cuban. And so, anyway, he like slips these little slips of paper through the window, and like at this point, all 4 windows are cracked, and there's like a cop at each window, and and he's like, everyone like fill it out, like so we have to like write our name, last name, like birthday, like phone number, address,
Favorite color.
yeah, favorite band, top 5 favorite music, and so we were like filling out all these little slips, and he's like, "Once you're done, just like slip it back through the window, whatever." And so like, all right, and so once we like filled out all the slips, he's like, "All right, everyone step out of the car, like come on guys, like file out,"
Yeah.
just being like just fucking. I'm saying it like in a very nice tone. They were like screaming at us. They're like, "All right, like now get out of the car. Come on, like what are you doing?"
Yeah.
And they're like, "Everyone call your parents." They like made us line up, and they're like still like flashing the light in our eyes, like still like they just caught us. I'm
Right.
like, it's been 20 minutes, guys. Like we filled out the slips. You know who I am. Like I'm not like
You
a
filled out your fucking surveys.
I gave you 5 stars, asshole. Enough is enough. And so
And then what did
so
your mom say?
we haven't gotten to that part. So
Oh.
they tell us to call our parents and like tell them to pick us up and everything. And so one of the girls, Lauren, she calls her grandparents, and it's like 2 a.m, and her like little sweet old grandparents show up to like this crime scene, And there's like 5 cop cars now, and like there's like maybe 7 cops, and they're all walking around, and they're all like with their hands on their fucking guns, and they're all just like like, and I'm like
With their hands on their fucking guns.
with their hands on their fucking pistols, and they're all looking around at me like, motherfucker, you dumb motherfucker, we caught you, motherfucker, you thought you were gonna run, bitch. No, but it made it seem like they're like, haha, like,
Yeah.
we knew you were gonna do this, and like, we totally got you. You know, just like making us feel like shit. And just like, they were just like, you guys are really stupid, you know that? We're like, yes, we like messed up. And like, no, like, you guys fucked up. Like, you stole a car, you know, and whatever, just like trying to prove this big lesson. And so Lauren's grandparents show up, and the cops, like, they basically like tape it off, and we're like at the back like of the food line where they drop all the food and shit. Like the trucks come,
Right.
and so they like tape it off, like caution tape and everything. The cops, like, the cars like make a barricade. Lauren's grandparents pull up, and they like walk, they like fucking lift the tape, and like Lauren's granddad like walks right under. He's like, all right, what's going on? And like Lauren's
classic movie.
Yeah.
The officer's like, sir, no one.
Yeah.
That's my daughter.
yeah. And Lauren's grandmother was like, Lauren! She was like, Lauren! And like, her grandparents are from Miami.
Yeah.
So they have like this stupid Florida, and they're like, Lauren! Lauren! And just like run, like looking for her. And she's like in her nightgown with her like cap on, like clearly just woke up. And so Lauren like rushes over, and like the cops like are like, all right, break it up. Like, what's going on? And he's like, who is this? And she's like, those are my grandparents. And they're like, do you have like, are your parents alive? Like, do you have parents? And she was like, yeah, my mom.
Do you have real parents?
Like, where are your parents? And so she was like, my mom's asleep, and like Lauren was afraid to call her mom.
Right.
And they're like, what the like, get your fucking grandparents out of here. Get your fucking mom here. The cops were like so mad.
They arrest the grandparents for no reason.
Fucking pepper spray them. That's what you get.
Not real guardians.
You fake. And so like all their parents eventually show up, like, and we're probably there like an hour. So all their parents show up, everyone's picking them up, and like the cops are just explaining what happened, telling the parents, you know, and they're like, there's gonna be a court date, blah blah, you'll get a letter in the mail, blah blah, all this other shit. And so they like they wrote our charges for us at the scene.
Yeah.
So I only got charged, I was wearing my seatbelt. I wasn't driving, I was only in the car. So I only got charged with curfew since I was under 18.
Wow.
So
You were under
yeah,
15.
which is nothing. Like curfew charge, it's nothing, and it gets expunged off your record like once you do whatever the court mandates. And so everyone was like going home. The only person that got like a really serious charge was the driver, which was like I said, it worked out in the end that Anthony wasn't driving because I think he got his license suspended until he was like 21.
Wow.
So he can't drive, like can't get a license until he's 21. And I think he got like extra charge, like I don't know,
Extra 2 years.
I think he got like a 10-year prison
Rikers,
sentence.
Wow.
Max security. And so everyone's like going home. The only people, like Anthony and I have called our mom like maybe 10 times at this point, and the cops are like, all right, like we're just gonna have to take you home, like where do you live, boys? And so they make Anthony and I put our hands behind our back, and they cuff us and put us in the fucking cop cruiser.
All right.
And I'm
I
like,
guess just get on the fucking ground.
Yeah.
Like,
but that's the thing. It's like you can't, like, what am I gonna do? No, not only like I can't break out of a fucking cop cruiser. Like, there's no way I could kick the door off or like hit the cops or do anything. Like, and not only that, but like, hey, like, there's like a giant metal divider, and like, that's the thing. Like, why would you need to cuff a 13-year-old and then like put it on so tight?
you don't know what he knows.
That's true. He you know, he was taking caution. Proper
Maybe you
precaution.
arrest the best
The
13-year-old lockpick in Virginia.
Best 13-year-old pickpocket.
I'm free. Go.
Anthony, go.
That's a crazy fucking
I
story.
know, but like, and so Anthony and I get cuffed.
Oh, yeah. You
and
gotta go home now.
Cameron and Colin, their mom also doesn't pick up the phone, so they also get cuffed. And this is like probably the last time I saw. This was actually. Yeah, one of the last time I saw them was us getting cuffed and going into separate cop cruisers and be like, all right, like, we didn't even say anything. We're just like,
You're like,
You're like, fuck.
this friendship's over.
Yeah, we're like, this is it.
Man, for the best though.
Yeah, probably for the best. They're kind of crazy. And so we're maybe 2 minutes away from our house. So we tell the cops where we live. They bring us to the house, and we pull up into the driveway, and there's 2 cops with us. And so they're like standing in front of the door. So they're like shoulder to shoulder, and Anthony and I are directly behind them. And so their lights are still on the car, and they're like banging on the fucking door. And my mom is the heaviest sleeper ever. Like her and I, when we moved into that townhouse, when we moved in, like we had all these fire alarms go off and shit because they were testing.
Yeah.
And her and I slept through it. And our neighbors like woke up.
Wow.
And like they were like, "Hey, did you like hear like a large like beeping noise like a siren?" And we're like, "No." But
No,
yeah.
so weird.
I know. And so my mom, like, it takes her, we're standing outside for like 10 minutes easily, and she finally wakes up, and she like lifts the blinds to like look out the window and see, who's fucking out there, because it's like 2:30, and she like, before she comes downstairs, she goes in our rooms, and like she's like, "Anthony, Devin," thinking it's us, like trying to get back in the house, and like we're not in our beds. And then she goes downstairs. She sees the lights from the cop car, and she sees 2 cops, and she like immediately thinks, "Oh, Anthony and Devin are dead. Like something happened. Like the cops are here to tell her that we're dead or something happened."
Yeah.
And so, because she can't see us, so she opens the door. The cops like the cops are like, "Are you Miss Gatto?" Blah blah, and she just like looks like white. She's so scared. She's anticipating what they're gonna say.
Yes.
And and then they start slowly explaining what happened, and you can see her face turning more and more just like,
Right.
like what the fuck, like just boiling with anger. And the cops like part ways, and my mom's face, I will never forget it, but her eyes were literally like bulging out of her, like she was fuming. She was like, "Thank you, she was like, "Thank you, officers," like just like she was like, "No, I'll take care of them when we get inside." Just trying to keep that like fake smile on. She's like, "No, we'll take care of them."
Jesus.
And so we get inside. She literally beats the fuck out of Anthony. She's like kicking, hitting us,
Yeah.
like just punching me, because we like fucked up her car, and like it was like $1,000 in damages.
Wow.
So Anthony and I, we didn't do anything that summer, and we spent the whole summer working to pay off the car.
Good.
But yeah, it was
That's
fucking.
what you deserve.
It was crazy. And then like one of the actually, I think the last time I saw Cameron and Colin was at court. Like the last time I saw
Wow.
Connor, last time I saw most of those people, Lauren was at court, and so
Orange jumpsuit.
no, I fucking wish. No, we all got to go home, and so we just had to come in, and they were just like, the judge, it was this old woman, she's like, "You know why you're here?" And we're like, "Yes." And so we ought to line up and like do some stupid pledge on the Bible, and like had to swear to a false god or whatever that I don't
Yeah.
believe in, and I had to swear to a god that's not mine, and so she's just like reading all of her fucking charges and shit, and then she gets to Colin, and we're just all like, and he's like mad,
Yeah.
But after that, yeah, we all like said goodbye,
Yeah.
and we left the courthouse, and that was it. And then Anthony and I, our charge, like our sentence was 24 hours of community service, so it really wasn't that bad. Like 20, and there was like a Haiti, what's it go? St. Michael's.
Yeah.
They do every year a Haiti rummage sale. Shout out St. Michael's. Thank you guys for helping the Haitians. Love you guys. And they do
Give them the weirdest shout outs
And
during
they-
this podcast.
they do such a killer job.
Shout out to the job I hate. Shout out my mechanic Frank who doesn't know me. Shout out this Catholic church that I never go to.
Shut up. But yeah, no, they just really love helping people, and
Yeah.
like the Haiti rummage sale, it's a beautiful thing. And anyway, so that's how we did our community service, and we
Right.
were like there for 2 days, and it was easy. Also, Brunswick stew. Shout out St. Mike's for your Brunswick stew. That's fucking awesome. We get like these large fucking. It almost looks like we're witches, and we're like standing in the parking lot, and it's these large like fire burning fucking.
And that was your
cauldrons.
community service? Was going to a Haitian
And so
thing?
it was like, it was summer, and I would have to stand with
That's
the wooden
horrible.
paddle and like stir this giant pot of Brunswick still, and like over hot flames.
We had to do spells and everything. It was weird.
We had to do like necromances and break like.
I'm
But
glad you
yeah.
told that entire half-hour story.
Well, you
I feel like
wanted it.
I did, but I feel like
I'm
I
sorry. I felt like I went too long.
just watched The Irishman. No, it's
Um,
good. I'm glad you didn't tell a 5-minute story, and then you're like, and yeah, that was it.
Yeah, that's my story. But yeah,
That was your little dip into the life of crime.
right.
Yeah.
That was my little, and it was fun. I have to
Yeah.
say, like there when we weren't caught and there was nobody on our tails. You bet your ass I was feeling a rush.
Yeah.
You bet your ass I was high off dopamine
Yeah.
and high off serotonin and riding that sweet shaba shaba all the way to who knows where. All the way to the sweet pearly gates.